Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Chris Gore. This is Film Threat. Today on the show, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. We're going to be discussing it here. And I'm happy that you're here with us. And also, there are other movies playing in theaters. And we'll be talking about them. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Yes. Polite Society, among others. Plus, Alan is here. Alaning, and I can't wait to talk to him. It's get ready for the weekend. It's Guardians talk, probably some spoilers, minor spoilers, and you will be warned. Can't wait to chat with you in the chat. All right, let's go, folks. Let's get things kicked off because I'm very pre-coffee. Can't you tell?
Everyone dies. Is that?
What are you talking about?
Oh, we're not at spoilers yet. Is that?
No, we're not at spoilers yet,
right.
Alan. Am I?
I just let it slip.
Question in the chat: am I too loud? Is my mic too loud?
It sounds louder than usual, but I don't know if it's me and my volume setting or.
Okay, all right. Just let me know in the chat if the volume is too loud. But I'm happy to be here. Everyone was asking me, so what'd you think of Guardians? And I said to them, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen. Normally, like you, Alan, I get to see a film early. I was not able to. I was in Vegas for the FNT meetup, and well, for some of the time. I was drinking for sure, but no, I had a great time in FNT Vegas. Wow, that was a blast. Saw Chrissy Mayer stand-up comedy, which was fantastic. Also, her openers, Keanu and Lila, were amazing. It was a great show. Got to meet so many cool people. And me, I've been trying to get the fist bump thing going. Even before all the pandemic stuff, I was like, I go to conventions, right? And it's like, let's do fist bump. It's like, no, I was shaking people's hands and hugging people. And so I came back with a cold. I have a minor cold. So I'm fine, by the way.
I'm pretty sure California weather has added to that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been freezing out here.
Yeah, but I did see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 last night. I can't wait to talk to you about it. I think I may have some surprising thoughts. I think we'll get into it. I think the trailers for this movie were misleading, and I can't wait to discuss it. But let's see who is in the chat as we get started. Oh, and I need to talk about the fallout from this court case. Our video of just introducing the charges is over 20,000 views and climbing. I have been inundated with requests for people to help. I've probably gotten 5 different people that have rewritten the charges, and I'm going to forward those to you, Alan. Some of the rewrites are very good because some of the rewrites are in legal language, like written like it's an actual complaint against a company. I even had Mike MC Wong last night. His wife, who is an attorney, sent me like this briefing printed out, and it is so extensive. Like it actually goes into, and it's written like a legal complaint. It's so good. I got to ask Mike to send this to me as like because it's like written like an actual legal complaint would be written. I think we might need to redo our complaint, our Google Doc, our main Google Doc. And if anyone's having problems accessing the doc, let us know. A few people experienced problems, and then I heard like everyone was able to it's in view mode only. We don't want like hundreds of people trying to edit it. It's in view mode only. We will update with a new version. The new version will be written in more legalese, but in a way that is not too legal that everyone can understand it. But And I've been reaching out to people to be on the prosecution and the defense, and it's pretty amazing. I don't think, at least for this week, I'll know who's going to be on the prosecution or the defense until maybe the day before. But in the coming weeks, I'll be able to give you notice, like, for the prosecution this week, it's so-and-so, and for the defense, it's going to be someone else. But let's get to your chat comments and questions as I am pre-coffee and amping. I feel like I'm booting up when we start our show at 9, but I always feel like a sense of like accomplishment, like, hey, we did a show today. We did a show. Here we are. Enrico Palazzo for $4.99. I enjoyed our talk about creature features in Vegas and felt you deserved the Godfather art as a payback for me getting you stuck seeing Magic Mike 3. Enrico, first of all, thank you for the $4.99. I have to find a place for this artwork. I'll post a picture of it on the community tab so everyone can see it. It's the Godfather. It's characters from the Godfather in this big piece of art, but it's very stylized. It's very stylized art, and it looks really cool. I'm super pumped. Like, I just need to find a place to put it. So I don't have a lot of wall space, but thank you, Enrico. That's awesome. Imperfect says, Film Threat, let's go. Robert Paul Champagne, hail chat and hail Film Threat. Imperfect goes on to say, I fell in love with Frank Gore all over again on Wednesday. Well, my character of Justice Gore with the glasses, these aren't even like anything prescription. These are those like glasses that like block like blue light. So
blue blocker, yeah.
Blue blocker. So like if you like are in front of a computer too long, like your eyes get weary. These are those kind of glasses. I actually think they look pretty good. So I feel like it just adds a level of seriousness, so I will be wearing those when I have my judge's robe on. So there you go. John Manaling says, let TGI FT. Thank God it's Film Threat. Let's go, boys. Hail the jury and the great ace attorney, Mr. Alan Ing. Now, Mr. Alan Ing, Mr. Ing, here's the other piece of feedback I got. People loved it because I was deadpan in character and you kept breaking character. And you breaking character, people thought was funny, especially when I would admonish you for breaking character. They're like, God, you're so mean to Ellen. It's hilarious. And I'm like, well, what's different? I know that's Friday. No, dude, that was so fun. That was so fun. But like, I'm telling you, when we're doing the trial, I'm not messing around. Like, and look, by the way, someone else sent me a letter. I got to read, you know what? Maybe we got to do just some sort of hangout or whatever. The letters, maybe I'll do it just for like the members. I'll just do like a chill stream like you did weren't you playing a video game on the members?
Yeah, my kid and I were playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Like, okay, so you did that, but it was for members only.
Yes.
It's weird because you've always been somewhat protective about your daughter. So I think it's weird that you would have her on there.
Hi, Dad, I miss you.
So, yeah, like, I don't know. That's obviously Alan's daughter.
Yeah.
You might recognize. So.
She grew up just a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Dad, I miss you.
Pretty irresponsible, though, to allow your daughter to go to Vegas unchaperoned.
I know. And then she does a stream where she's just drinking with her friends.
But yeah, maybe I was thinking like I would do like a member stream, but just like go over, like read the letters I got regarding Critics Court. I could go over like, so some guy sent me a thing, said, look, I got a lot of letters from attorneys saying you don't know anything about the law. And I'm like, no kidding. Here's the extent of my legal knowledge is movies and TV shows where there are courtroom dramas. And probably I learned the most watching a very famous SNL sketch called Caveman Lawyer. So if you've ever seen Caveman Lawyer, that sketch, like that's the extent of like my legal expertise. So it's like, yeah, I know I don't know anything. I'm making this show up as we go along. But people are saying you have to be able to entertain objections. So when we have the prosecution and the defense fighting, someone can object, but I could deny their like. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is gonna get crazy. And then I had people say this is just a grift to get super chats, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, if people want to give them, fine, that's great, but like you know,
I mean, heaven forbid we should do a series that would draw a large audience.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, that's kind of the point of what we're doing here.
People just need to chill.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
I mean,
look, watch a couple episodes of seasons of LA Law and Boston Legal. I think you'll get.
And you know, look, I've watched Judge Judy.
Yeah,
I watched Judge Judy.
Night Court is back. You can watch
Night
that.
Court. I've seen Night Court. I've seen enough film and TV courtroom to be able to be a judge. Justice Gore.
Yeah.
And I will be just as biased as some of our other federally appointed judges. Yeah. But like, I think you're special counsel. And you could even be special counsel where, you know, you're I don't know. You have to be on I don't want you to be a clerk. I want you to be like, you know, more involved. Although I had someone contacted me who is a clerk, said, can I be your clerk and swear people in? And I'm like, yeah, we can do all that. So we've got our sketch artist. We'll have a clerk, special counsel, and then prosecution, defense. And we'll also call witnesses. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do a thing where people can submit, like when they present their case, they can have exhibit 1. So in the private chat, it'll say exhibit 1. And then Alan, I'll have you like put up exhibit 1, which will be like a link or a social post or a video and whatnot. So yeah, I think that would be great. The other thing is, do people want us to react to the Dune trailer? We might do that today too.
Yeah. I just watched it. I'm not sure that there's a lot to it.
Well, I mean, we can do that. Let's go through some of these chats and we'll kick off the show. Maybe one thing, but if people are interested in doing a members only, I'll hop on a stream on like Sunday maybe or Monday, and I'll just do like a quick stream of like, hey, here are the crazy letters we got. It'll be fun.
You send everyone to contact to filmthreat.com/contact. And
yeah,
my email's been blowing up. I don't know about yours.
My email has blown up, and yeah, I will do my best. To get back to everybody. Just know that if you send me like a letter that's this long, my reply is always going to be like this, and I'm probably going to skim through it because I always look for like what's the action item. Like, what do you want? Like, just tell me what you want. I get a lot of emails in a day, and I try to answer everything, but it's got Lon Gorder says Life of Brie. Robert Paul Champagne says Hail Chris Gore. Dark side.
I'll
get my coffee. I'll get my coffee, folks.
Claim to be a Star Wars fan.
Thank you for your patience with me. Oh, by the way, I found out today I'm going to be on FNT later because I guess Shad is sick.
Oh, okay.
I had the best plan for my Friday. I had the best plan. I was going to do my laundry, which I haven't done laundry since before Vegas. And I was going to have FNT playing on my TV. It's going to be great. Play a little Dead Island 2 on my PS5. This was my plan. Now I'm on FNT. How am I going to do my laundry?
Yeah. You got to play the rest of those videos I sent.
This is my exciting life. I'm also a little upset that the Geeks and Gamers group did not do a video about me when I drove to Vegas. They should have done a video. Chris Gore has left Hollywood. Okay, that's a dumb in joke.
Good, yeah.
Okay. Dark Sith 87, who's a member. Thank you, Dark Sith 87. Good morning, all. Saw Big George Foreman. Really enjoyed it in an almost empty theater.
Yeah, I almost saw it yesterday. And,
you know what? I'm going to see it this weekend. No loud is ever too loud for Mr. Gore, says Shima Gera. Kima Gera? Chema Gera? Those are the three possible pronunciations. And my apologies. Greasy Guido's a member. Trouble accessing the dock? I say attack the dock. There you go. I love a good pun. Jens Anderson of the Tall Ree is a member. Said, did I hear possibly Mahler? Yes, I'm talking to Mahler. He wants to do it. So it's a matter of like matching the correct charge with the correct prosecutor. Mahler will be amongst the prosecutors.
Yeah. By the way, I did have to move around some of the topics so that one topic is covered in one charge versus.
No, look, I'm gonna forward to you, Alan. This is your assignment. I'm gonna forward to you every different rewrite. There's one that I think is very good, but it's written. You know, like have you ever seen like
done after I revise the charges, or is this done before it?
This is, but you got to look at these notes.
Okay.
The legal reading of the document, it looks like actually a serious court case. Like you've downloaded legal briefings before, right? Like you downloaded.
Sure.
Like I want this to pass the Nick Rekieta muster. Okay, it's got to pass. If it doesn't pass the Nick Rekieta test, it's not real. So I want it to look like a legal complaint, and then Nick Rekieta will I'll shoot it down and say it's awful.
Oops,
which is fine.
I want to get this one. Yeah, there's no Rumble stream because something happened and it's not picking up the stream. So no Rumble today.
Sorry, BMO Better.
I set it up. It's just not working for some reason.
Technical issues with Rumble. We apologize. We do the best with what we have. Pablo Parcial just became a YouTube member. Thank you for that. Alfredo D. Oliveira Jr. for 15 to help pay court staff fees. Great job. Well, thank you, Alfredo. We appreciate it. That's awesome. James Ricciuti. Hey, Chris Gore is a scary judge. He is holding poor Alan in contempt of court. I love that every time. See, I wanted to smile, but I did not smile because I was staying in character because that's what I was doing. Alan would break character. He could not resist smiling, and I admonished him every time. Mr.
You're
Ing.
allowed to smile in courtrooms.
Mr. Ing. Oh, my God.
But if you want to hold me in contempt.
By the way, I was also conversing with the people from Echo Base Network. I love that channel. I subscribe to it, watch their Star Wars streams. They kept me sane during Star Wars Celebration. Echo Base Network is going to watch the trial and comment on the trial live like a trial. I'm so excited for that. So yeah, they're actually going to cover the trial, like do the live commentary to the trial. Is that I want to go back and watch that. I want to watch their commentary.
So a fake commentary about a fake trial.
Yeah, there you go. Geek Truth 64 for $4.99. Haven't caught a live in a while. Hey, thank you, Geek Truth 64. Congrats on all the channel success. I bought Attack of the Doc and did a review on my channel to spread the word. Well, hey, Geek Truth 64, do us a favor. Tag at Attack of the Doc on Twitter. We will retweet your review, and I'm gonna start posting these reviews on the Attack of the Doc YouTube channel just as a way to archive them all. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so great. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's a good review. The Lost Warrior for 35 Zars. Chris, as a lawyer, I think your trial was a good idea, but should be more formalized and pre-recorded. Actually have a jury and via rules of court. I think live is more fun. I think we'll always do it live. Just as any court thing is live, on the internet. Like I will watch live court stuff, even when it's boring, it has like there's sort of those lull moments. So, and you are an attorney, so you're going to know, I want to make it more formal. We will get better as we go. That is my promise to you is I will try to learn this stuff more. And, it is a fake movie trial. So we're gonna go more like what movie and TV rules, but I appreciate it. Lost Warrior, any sort of guidance you can give, I would appreciate. Any guidance, I don't think there's ever been a Vice article like top 10 rules if you want to be a judge. If anyone can, send me to an article like that, I will read it. I was really, more than anything, I was just trying to entertain the audience and come up with a different, and actually, truthfully, I really want people who disagree to talk to each other, because we don't get that a lot. I feel like we live in these sort of mini bubbles and echo chambers, and I want to have I want to turn the echo chambers into a Venn diagram where they just sort of, these bubbles converge, and then we have people who disagree talk to each other.
Yeah.
I want someone.
I think the courtroom setting allows not only that, but keeps everyone from talking over each other, and
right?
Keeps it civil, which is, I mean, I remember when conversations used to be civil.
Civil discourse. Civil discourse is making a comeback in 2023.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no.
Lost Warrior's from, I believe he's from South Africa.
Oh, so Lost Warrior. Any advice you can give to me on like how I could be a better judge, I would appreciate it. As for advice for Alan, just my advice for him would be just smile less.
Yes, you be you. That's it.
Solomon Thornton, Gore in order. Dun dun. I love our music with the lightsabers. Glanuccio outdid himself. Daniel, I'd like to know if the misspelling was on purpose or was it part of the show? No, it was because I don't remember. I think a bunch of people worked on the document. We should have checked it before. I don't think we checked it because we worked on it. So it was just like it went back and forth, back and forth. I just assumed that it was copy corrected, and it was not copy corrected.
Also the second paragraph were basically the notes we took while we were on air, kind of discussing the issues and kind of getting the side issues to support the charges. And so I think those were just kind of written on the fly as opposed to written down in some formal manner. So
they were more like notes. So we had like the formal like headline, and then like we had like notes underneath. But Alan, someone sent me this incredibly detailed, like in legal language, like it literally something you could file charges against Lucasfilm. Not a joke. Yeah, the misspelling was a mistake. It was not done on purpose. Jens Anderson of the Tari, I got it, Frank. Imperfect, I got the joke and I didn't laugh. Hello, computer. Alan is the Jimmy Fallon on FT. Yeah, he laughs at his own jokes. I do that too.
Funny. They're funny.
I'm guilty of that as well. Imperfect. I kept waiting for Judge Gore to demand Alan shave his sideburns.
I mean, really, do I?
No, the sideburns are cool. Why would I?
I mean, are they really that?
Why would I force Alan into that? John Long, last name. Hold me in contempt. I have nothing but contempt for this court. Someone somewhere, probably twice, says John Long, last name. The Chicago Box. I showed my daughters who were born during the early aughts Attack of the Dock. They loved it. It showed them how awesome we used to be. That was kind of my point in making the doc, was like, I just want to show how cool things used to be. And this is recent history. This isn't even that long ago. So yeah, thank you so much, Chicago Box. That's awesome.
Yeah, my daughter would agree, by the way.
Your daughter, what about your daughter?
Would agree.
Hi, Dad, I miss you.
Yes.
Your daughter in Vegas, I got to tell you.
And why is she in a prom dress?
It's not a prom dress. It's not a prom dress.
It looks like a prom dress.
So, all right, back to your comments here. We're almost through these. Wes Ray,
disappointment to us.
Oh
you gotta
my
play
God.
those other videos that I made.
First of all, don't send us 5 videos. Send the one video we should play.
Well, you didn't. You gave me 0.
Dude, I'm on a live show. Alan, I'm on a live show. I can't stop and watch the video. I couldn't do anything. Next time, send it.
Oh, you're listening. You're like, hey, stop everything you're doing and make videos.
Yeah, I told you about it earlier. I told you
told me I would be on the show to do this. And I knew that wasn't going to happen. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I thought it was funny. We all laughed in the room. Alan was on FNT last week.
Yeah.
Wes Ray, a grift for super chats. One of the reasons I love Film Threat Live videos more than others is that you read regular chats in addition to super chats. Others just read super chats only.
Sorry, I don't know how that one slipped through.
Yeah, Wes, I shouldn't have even read that. Why would I even read this? I was paid $0 to read that, Wes Ray. Actually, you know what? Wes Ray is a member. He's a member, so he gets a member chat. I just want, seriously, when it comes to comments, I want comments who add to the conversation. Super chats do get priority. Having said that, if a comment adds to the conversation or like just, you know, all are welcome. That's why when we had the premiere for Attack of the Doc, I was like, we're going to do a premiere. And we had like this screening. And I'm like, no, we're not just going to have, we're going to set aside a certain number of seats that people can buy because I just want anyone who wants to go to the premiere to be able to get a ticket. And we did that. So there you go. Luffy is God says, read this. Nope, I am not going to. Imperfect says, Chris is a man of the people. I'm just like, I have sort of just been at like, I mean, like my status in Hollywood, if this were the caste system, I would be an untouchable in Hollywood. And I've kind of always been at like this low level. I don't know. I just prefer to be around real people, you know?
I don't know. I feel like you've been touched.
Well, that's why, for example, KJ is now part of our movie meetup group on Thursdays. I met a guy randomly named KJ, which was really funny because I met him in front of a guy who's a very prominent YouTuber whose name I'm not going to say. He would be upset if I used his name. And he was like, does this happen to you all the time? It's not really, but you know, I love when I have people who like what I do. And now KJ is part of our group. I don't even know if KJ heard this. We'll see. Alan Horkins says, it is almost as if Film Threat appreciates their audience. I've always appreciated my audience. I've always just, back when I was doing Film Threat, like in the 90s, like in the 80s and 90s, if anyone just liked what I did, I was so happy. I would like mail them a sticker. I'll mail you a sticker. Do you want a sticker? Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Film Threat 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB, stands for Private Mailbox, 1500, Los Angeles, California, 90036. I'll mail you back a sticker. How about that? Free stuff. I like getting stuff for free. So, Zavin, who's a member, you do not say the trendy political things, which makes you a pariah in entertainment. Well, I have my own opinion. My opinions are actually pretty middle of the road common sense, but that's radical these days. It's so weird how like common sense stuff is like crazy radical.
I mean, I just been feeling like we need to lean into common sense and just not apologize for it.
Common sense is a radical opinion now.
Yeah, I mean, people are really getting canceled over common sense ideas and issues.
Oh, they've tried to cancel me a bunch of times. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's mostly people that don't have a sense of humor.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Jericho Leon, you guys should play the X-Ray Dad video that was meant to be played on FNT.
There's four of them. There's four of them.
All right, let's play all four. At the end of the show, Alan, during the course of the show, please convert the videos. At the end of the show, we'll play all four and we'll see which one. Can you do that? Would you mind?
Yeah, hopefully we have space on.
Okay, yeah, we'll delete some things. Jericho, thank you for the suggestion. We're definitely doing that. Aid Robertson, we'll do it at the very end of the show for £4.99. Hail, Alan and Frank. Attack of the Doc was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm shocked, actually. We have over 100 audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. We're at 99%. I didn't expect that.
That's awesome.
Didn't expect it. Over 100 reviews. Thank you to everyone. Matthew Hammond for 2. Will Poulter as Adam Warlock looks like Chris Gore. Okay, I wasn't going to say it, but he's got kind of a doughy face. Like I've got a doughy face and the hair. And I was like, I wonder if I could just paint myself gold and I could go as Adam Warlock. Can I pull that off at a
Comic-Con? Yeah.
And I could, but I'll be like, not to ruin anything, but he has like a costume at the beginning and he's kind of disheveled at the end. I would like to be the disheveled, shirtless version where I'm like I am so doing that. Thank you, Matthew Hammond. I'll post pictures. Daniel became a YouTube member. Thank you for that. And Craig Wilson for 20 says, as an impartial juror, if the charges don't fit, you must acquit. The burden is on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defense is guilty as charged. I need documents and video proof, not just feelings. Craig, we're going to deliver it to you. And this trial is going to take weeks, if not months. If each charge is a week, this is going to go like 10 weeks. Even if we do like closing arguments, it's going to be, Craig, thank you for the 20. We really appreciate it. Yeah, the burden is on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I will become a better judge. I promise you that. And contact me, but please don't send me a wall of text. Just, hey, here's my YouTube channel. I talk about Star Wars.
We need to see your work. We need to see your work on YouTube.
Yeah, because someone sent in a video, but then the lighting was terrible. And just you can get a ring light at TJ Maxx for $15. Why do I know this? Because I have ring lights in my room that I got at TJ Maxx. I didn't even buy these at Amazon. I got them at TJ Maxx. Not exaggerating here. But what I'd like to do is, Alan, you're a huge fan of Dune.
Okay.
Well, are you? I am.
No, I'm not. I have become a recent fan of Dune. I was challenged recently to. Can you hear me at all?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was challenged to watch the original Dune from David Lynch, and then the television series from Sci-Fi. And I will say the Denis Villeneuve version is probably the best, and I like the fact that he's slowing down and trying to get to the heart of the book.
Well, I've
not read the books, and I haven't. I saw Dune 2 years ago. That's how much of a fan I've been.
2 years. You're talking about the original David Lynch Dune,
yeah,
or
starting with the original? Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Which I mean, quite frankly, it's a weird movie.
I love that movie.
I
grew to love it. I did not originally love it. Actually, the original
inner monologues were just weird. But
the original Dune is the reason that I started Film Threat, was because I was so upset over the original Dune. I don't know if people know this story, but yeah. All right. We're gonna hang on a second. We're gonna look at this trailer. We're gonna do a reaction to this. Okay. So maybe I'll do like a neutral background.
I'm just saying, for copyright's sake, we gotta lower that volume and talk over it.
Well, no, I mean, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. All right. Give me a second while I do a quick reset, folks. I appreciate your patience.
I'll just go to comment here. JPTRX kind of agrees with me. I usually like sci-fi, but I can't really get into Dune. Didn't like this last version, and the new one coming doesn't look good either.
All right. Well, let's look at a trailer. We're going to look at a trailer for Toilet Dune.
The people ask us to bring peace to the city of Austin. House Radiant accepts.
I know you. There's something awakening in your mind.
You must face your fears.
Come with me.
You need to be ready.
All right, so that was the trailer for Toilet Dune. It is a company called Radiant from Austin, Texas. And what they do is they do trailer parodies. This is real. Okay. They do trailer parodies to promote their plumbing company. And I guess someone showed that on the John Oliver show, a show I used to watch. John Oliver of late has just become insufferable to me. But I am now aware of Toilet Dune. If we show the Dune trailer, we would get copyright, and so I don't want to do that. But here's my review of the trailer. I thought it was okay. Thought the trailer was okay. It didn't give away too much, but they have never done the last half of the book of Dune. They have never been able to successfully translate to the screen. And I'm curious if they're capable of doing it. Can they take that last half of the book? Like in the David Lynch movie, they kind of just like, they go through it so quickly that it rushes through in montage form. Can they do? And the thing I do like what Denis Villeneuve did say is that he said that this is not a sequel to Dune. This is the second part of the same story. So ultimately, what you should be able to do is take Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2, and you just watch them as one 5 or 6 hour movie. I'm hoping that it's over 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Come on. Yes. There's a lot of story.
Because the sense I get from you is that the second part is just an all-out war, basically.
I want to see an all-out intergalactic war over spice in the Middle East. I mean, Arrakis. That's what I want to see. I think the story in Dune is more relevant today than it was when it was first published in 1965. And I love the structure of it. I love that it's like, I mean, it starts out, it's like narrated by Princess Irulan, who you saw, what's her name? Frances Pugh is in the film as Princess Irulan. She is the daughter of Shaddam IV, the emperor of the known universe, which is going to be played by Christopher Walken. We didn't see him in this. So I do also think that this trailer, I thought it was a fine trailer. I really enjoyed it, but there weren't a lot of money shots in that. I mean, you saw Paul riding the worm, but you didn't really see the worm.
Yeah.
Like rear up or, you know.
I mean, I think the trailer was definitely meant for fans of Dune. And for people who would actually seen the first one, I'm not sure.
That's a teaser trailer. That was a teaser trailer, which was fine. I thought it was okay. So we're going to start out. We're going to talk about Guardians and appreciate your patience, everyone. It's been a rough week since Vegas. I can't believe we pulled off the charges for Critics Court. But I will say this, all the criticism of the trial will only make it better. So thank you to those offering advice, criticism. We really appreciate it. So thank you for that.
We will actually hear your comments and your criticisms and try to apply them week after week.
Yes, we're going to do our best.
It will get better. It will get better over time. I guarantee
the trial will get better over time. So let's talk about it. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. Wait, before we do that, a few other comments before we pivot to that real quick. John Snowden, hey, Chris, was the big bearded guy on Attack of the Doc Corrado Corretto? I used to date his sister, Nicole. Corrado can be seen in like, he's like in the background of some stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Corrado Corretto used to date his sister, Nicole. Oh, interesting. Well, there you go. Harry Anders for 200. Is it Swedish? It's Krona. Not Corona.
Krona.
Krona. I know, Harry. It's not Corona. I want to say Corona. Krona. Swedish Krona. You guys are sometimes really like Abbott and Costello. I love the banter, the arguing. Too funny. Love the show. Glad I became a member. I am checking out Attack of the Doc this weekend. Keep up the good work and the trial. Well, thank you, Harry. I hope you like it enough to take the time to post a review either on Amazon, which is maybe where you're seeing it, or on Vimeo or YouTube, or go to RottenTomatoes.com, the audience reviews. You can post your review and your rating, and that would be much appreciated. The more people that review it and rate it, the more it will be recommended, more it will turn up as a recommended movie that you may want to watch. So that's awesome.
And hopefully he can see it from Finland.
And
or
Mike,
sorry.
yes, Mike MC Wong, this new Dune was awesome. I just hated the weird sounding background music, unpleasant and headache inducing. It's a teaser trailer. It's the movie will be different. So, but let's get into it, Alan. The time is now. The time is now for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is our review. We will be spoiler free for most of this review. When we get into spoilers, you will be fairly warned. In addition, we will not be doing spoilers that involve the very end of the movie. I think that would ruin the experience of the film. I'm talking about the very, very end of the movie.
Yeah,
so
I think we're just going to spoil some details, but not the ending, not how it ends.
Now, last week when you were on the show with Dante and the two of you were fresh from seeing the film, you didn't really give many details of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into the details of the story. It kicks off with a drunken and irresponsible Star-Lord. Peter Quill is just distraught over Gamora, probably over recent events as well. So when you see that shot of Peter being carried by Nebula, he's all passed out from being drunk. He then emerges from this stupor when he realizes that his friend Rocket has been injured and maybe mortally wounded, on the brink of death. This then precipitates a series of flashbacks to the origins of Rocket Raccoon, who began life as, you guessed it, a cute little baby raccoon who is then surgically altered along with other animals, including a walrus, a rabbit, and what was the other creature?
An otter.
An otter. And they're all surgically altered with to be slightly different. Their intelligence is increased, and you see Rocket as he goes through this process and makes friends with the animals that are being experimented on.
Yeah, should mention it's the High Evolutionary who is experimenting.
Yes. The High Evolutionary is the person conducting these experiments to make a better society. He doesn't want to take over the galaxy. He doesn't want to destroy the world. He just wants to make a better society. I think the High Evolutionary might be the best Marvel villain since Thanos. He dwarfs Jonathan Majors as Kang. I'm sorry. This guy experimenting on animals. He's a guy with he doesn't consider himself evil because he's trying to do good, which a lot of people in the world who think they're trying to do something good, I think are kind of evil. Might James Gunn be saying something? Who knows? But a lot of people who think they're doing good are actually doing evil things. And so you see through a series of flashbacks, you see Rocket's origins, and it's heart-wrenching. In addition, you'll see that the absence of Rocket is felt. In the first half of the movie, the absence of Rocket amongst the team is felt in a strong way. And I think because of these flashbacks, you really understand why Rocket is, the way he is. He's bitter. He's angry. He's doesn't like being pushed around. There's a reason he's been that way through not just 2 films, but other appearances in Marvel movies. This explains everything. So that I think was incredibly well done. Everyone is different in this film too. Peter is distraught. Nebula is different. She's now more interested in doing better things. She's changed by her experiences. We finally meet Gamora later in the story as they go to pull off a heist, which is to find this chip that will basically
it's the data file that unlocks.
Yes.
Rocket,
not a chip.
Circuitry, basically.
That's right. Not a chip. It's a data file that will basically unlock the ability to heal Rocket so he won't die. So they're on a mission to get that data file. And through that, they enlist the aid of Gamora. who is not Gamora from the previous Guardians films at all. She's Gamora pre-meeting Peter Quill. All of this makes for interesting drama. What I like is, at least for the first half of the movie, this film is less jokey in tone than the previous Guardians movies. It's far more serious. It's darker, more adult. I would even say that some of the scenes involving the animals, and there's a plot in like the second half of the movie involving child trafficking, which I find interesting in a Disney movie. Children being used, and they're going to populate some new world. I just found all of this, and it's interesting is like it's there if you look for it, but it doesn't ever feel preachy in the way that James Gunn is presenting it. But I felt that what I liked about this is that the stakes seemed real, whereas many of the recent Marvel films, in particular like Thor, just felt like nothing mattered. And Black Panther, where it was just like so much bad CG, it didn't feel rooted in reality. So, and I will say this, on little side notes, just things that stood out to me. What I liked about this film too is they may have used the volume to shoot. It didn't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
So many of these other previous, especially Ant-Man, felt like they just shot it on a soundstage. They just shot it in the volume. There's something about it that, I mean, there's like this scene where like Peter Quill on this new world is driving like a car. And I loved it. It was like this, it's like a reproduction of Earth, but with evolved animals.
Yeah, it's
like
60s here. We're talking the 60s here.
Yeah, like idyllic, like 50s, 60s, like suburban life. And they go to this planet. It's just like, they're like physical sets where they go to this sort of biological, it's not a planet, but what was that thing where they had to pull off the heist to get the data file?
Oh, it's the Celestial's head. Nowhere. No. It's a bioplanet, basically.
It's a bioplanet where they go inside
a bio lab or a bio moon. It was created out of biological material.
Yeah, and so they go inside of it. That part was so cool. It was like it felt like part Doctor Who. It felt like part Barbarella with the weird Nathan Fillion as the security guard in that weird security guard outfit that was so over the top. I just love the production design.
Yeah. Oh, and contrast that with Quantumania. And,
right.
And you know who the better world builder is between James Gunn and Peyton Reed.
I think that, James Gunn is inspired by the comics, but makes it practical and real world. So that like biosphere environment was so bizarre. I love that whole sequence with the heist. The interplay between Drax and Mantis. Mantis is just, she's so precious. I feel like I have a crush on Mantis, to be honest. If I ever meet a woman in Mantis cosplay, my beating heart. Anyways, she is, what I even loved about Mantis was like, not just the way she talks and her interplay with Drax, their reactions, but even when they went out in the little colorful astronaut uniforms, like she's spinning around, she's like moving differently than everyone else. Because she has this sort of la 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 la, like almost like a childlike fascination with everything she encounters. Her character is, I think she was great from the beginning, but like she's really just fully formed in this. It's awesome. But what I loved is
she really ramps it up in the holiday special.
Yes, and there's a reference to the holiday special at the end, which I thought was fantastic. Not a spoiler; it's just reference that it occurred.
Yeah.
So we can go through more. I don't want to like go story wise, beat by beat. I'm going to tell you the things that I really loved. And I just love that there were serious stakes in this, that things mattered, that it wasn't the fate of the universe, not just the universe, the multiverse, it's the world. Like, how much bigger can you go? This is a personal story about their friend being in a crisis, and Rocket, it's life or death stakes.
Yeah.
and there are times you see characters. There are just it felt like things mattered. It didn't feel like and we're gonna make a joke. No one's stopping to make a joke in the middle of serious dramatic circumstances. In particular, and I also think that this film, and look, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I really love this film. I'm surprised. I like it. The more I thought about it, the more I enjoyed it. And I was resisting it. I was just like, God, Marvel has just been like, it's just been so disappointing lately. I wasn't even really, I just wanted to get it over with and go, nah, I'm sure but at the same time, after having seen it, I was like, I'm surprised how much I really enjoyed it. And I plan to see it again this weekend. So I don't know what that tells you. I really enjoyed it. There are problems with it. We'll get into the problems, but there was so much. I could just go on and on about a list of things that I enjoyed about the film. We'll get into the flaws and the faults in a minute, but I want to hear your thoughts, Alan, now that you can speak more freely. And we're still going to be no spoilers for a while now, and we will go to your comments before spoilers. So, Alan, your general thoughts now that you can get into the story in more detail.
I mean, I really liked it. Again, it's my third favorite. What I appreciate about this specific story is it is the completion of the character arc that is the Guardians of the Galaxy. The first movie was about a team of selfish people doing a job to get money, and to somehow become a team. The second movie is kind of this development of the Guardians as a family, that they are the only people in the universe who treat each other as family and loved as a family. And this one is, I think, the most poignant because it's about the Guardians now fighting for one of their own and being selfless and putting their lives on the line to save Rocket. And so that's where, and so if you take the 3 volumes, you have a full and complete character arc. And I think that's why people are saying it's too dark. I don't know that it is. I think it's just the fact that it's a much more heartfelt story. It has real stakes to deal with. It's also, the goodbye of the Guardians. And I think that's why people are saying it's not like the first 2. It's darker than the first 2. It has to be. Without going this dark, you don't really get to the heart of who the Guardians are. And I without spoiling the ending, I love how it ended. In terms of the fact that this team's no longer going to exist. And then the way they set things in motion to make that happen, and where they left the team, I think just works. And it does it in a way that, I hear people talking about what they might do, and to know that they got it all completely wrong is kind of the fun of having listened to the criticisms of this movie for the last week, when no one saw it until yesterday. So yeah, I really do like the movie. I think the Guardians, it's going to be the last good Marvel you're going to see for a very long time. And so take it in, soak it in, have fun.
Well, I feel bad that I agree with you. It's the last good Marvel we're going to see for quite some time, until we see James Gunn's Superman, which will be a very good Superman Marvel movie, which could very well be the case. I enjoy this much more than I thought I would, because the film took itself seriously, because while it is funny and there are jokes, the jokes are made appropriately, instead of taking serious circumstances and diminishing those circumstances, diminishing the drama by adding humor at an inopportune moment. And I appreciated that this movie showed restraint. The things that didn't work for me, the running time, this could easily have been cut. I feel like you could have cut this to a tighter, closer to 2 hours. It's 2 hours, 30 minutes. You feel it. The second half gets overly long. I feel like you could have, cut down to the essence of things. I'm sure there's, look, it's a 2.5 hour version. There exists a 3.5 hour assembly. I promise you.
Yeah.
that exists.
Well, I mean, I felt like there were a lot of side stories, especially the child trafficking side story that is like, I mean, they complete it. They complete that story, which begins midway through the movie. And I'm
Right.
like, it's like, oh, okay, we got to suffer. Not that we had to suffer through it, but it's like, oh, this is going to extend this ending out a long time.
Well, I feel like there was the child trafficking and the experimental animals. You could have cut one. I would have cut the child trafficking. To be honest, like you could have cut all of that out and just kept it to the animals, and that would have been enough. It might have felt a little forced, but as much as like the child trafficking thing was kind of interesting, and it was okay, but like you really could have cut all of that. I feel like this movie could have been a tight 2 hours. It really could have. The other thing is Adam Warlock. If you're aware of who Adam Warlock is in the comics, you're going to be very disappointed. If you've never heard of Adam Warlock,
you're not going to care.
You probably won't care. It won't matter to you. I actually like Will Poulter, like what he did with it. Like, I thought it was interesting. He's sort of like a newborn, he was basically born to get revenge against the Guardians and take them out. And it gets a little tiresome. So, but
yeah, but I mean, look, I understand why fans of Adam Warlock are upset with what they did with Adam Warlock, but the reality is also there's never going to be an Adam Warlock movie, and there's never going to be an Adam Warlock television series. And so that's what Marvel has done since the very beginning, is they take very good characters, and reduce them to, basically comedy characters. I mean, Taskmaster, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
What they did to Taskmaster was, I was infuriated because I love the Taskmaster, and they've ruined a perfectly good character that could have done so much for the Marvel universe. And so this is par for the course. These are characters that only true fans really care about, and Marvel doesn't care that true fans really care about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I what's weird is I think you can do this. This is a weird thing. You can sort of like compartmentalize this in your head. Is Adam Warlock in the comics exists, and that's cool. Adam Warlock now exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think they're like two different characters as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's almost like Adam Warlock in the movies, in James Gunn's movie, is inspired by Adam Warlock from the comics, but is not the comic character at all. Whereas some other characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe very much feel like the characters from the comics. I feel like they did not do Adam Warlock justice at all.
Well, it's like, if you take Man of Steel and didn't call it a Superman movie, I think Man of Steel would have been a good movie.
Right.
The same thing here is, it's a good character. It serves a point in the story and is pivotal in the end. But did you have to make it Adam Warlock?
See, exactly. So, I mean, this character fulfilled a role, which was to disrupt the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
But
to be an overwhelming threat against the Guardians.
Exactly, an overwhelming threat that brings near death to some of the characters. So there you are. But I just feel that there's a better movie that's at 2 hours. I would. So look, if we're in the non-spoiler territory before we get to your comments, let me just say this is I really enjoyed this film much better than I thought I would. I did actually get choked up a couple times in the film. I did not expect that at all. I didn't cry like other people I was with cried.
You were sitting next to Kevin Smith?
No. But I did get choked up. Like, look, to me, harming children and animals, that is pure evil. Anyone who would do that, the harming of children, animals, that's horrifying. You're an evil person. And so to see that on screen, it's not, I will say this, I don't think it's gratuitous, but it's there. And I think if I saw this as a kid, single digit age, I think this could provoke nightmares, especially the way that the walrus has like these wheels, the rabbit has like these spider legs.
Yeah.
This is apparently out of the comics. I did not see that in the comics, but good on James Gunn for pushing it. There is Star-Lord says fuck, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin when he says it. It's great.
I love how it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And the thing is this, he pushed this as close to an R-rated Marvel movie as you could possibly go without showing nudity. And the thing is, there was no like, people will, maybe people, I didn't feel there was anything that was overly woke in it at all. Nothing. Like, it's not that. I feel like I don't know. There was just like so much to love and a lot of nitpicks, the running time. I think the child trafficking subplot could have been, you could have lost that.
Mm-hmm.
You really could have
you could have run through it faster than they did,
or run through it quicker. Yeah. There was just maybe a better way.
Well, that's what I'm saying is the third act, which is the last half of the movie, had five or six endings to it.
Yes,
and it was just like, wow, this is. I mean, again, this is the last good Marvel you're going to see for a very long time, and quite frankly, I'm very hopeful for what DC is going to bring us.
And I'm not going to, obviously, I don't think I have to tell you to stay through all of the credits. It's a Marvel movie. You should definitely do that. I'm not going to tell you anything we're not going to talk about that yet. But what I love with the credits was that it looked like the back of an album. Mm-hmm. There are all these like photos, not just from like the production. So there's like photos and they're like with tape on, like it's taped onto something. And it felt like we were looking at the back of an album. And as a kid that grew up with albums and then cassettes and whatever before we got CDs, you would put on an album and you would just read the back, and you would open and even better if it was like a fold out like Star Wars, and you would read all of that stuff. Like you would just absorb it while listening. Mm-hmm. And that's what it felt like with the credits, like looking at these pictures, like sort of in character, out of character. It really was closing the book. I don't see how you make
these characters we had literally grown up on. I agree. Maybe literally is the wrong word to use.
But you could make another Guardians movie, or the Guardians could appear in another movie. I hope they don't. I hope this is like close the chapter, make something new, but I don't see when you look at the lineup, especially because the High Evolutionary, what's the name of the actor who plays the High Evolutionary? If you could look that up, Alan.
I know it's the name that cannot be pronounced.
I've seen him before in other things, and
he was in Peacemaker. Yeah.
He's in Peacemaker.
It's basically the James Gunn crew is all over this.
Yeah, his wife is in it. Like she was fine. She's,
The Chukwudi Iwuji.
Wait. Could you try to pronounce?
I know you're gonna do the same. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not feeding the clip machine to
Alan. How do you pronounce the actor? How do you Alan?
Iwuji. Okay.
No, how do you pronounce the actor who plays the High Evolutionary? How do you pronounce his name?
I don't know. How do you pronounce the actor who played the High Evolutionary?
One more time, Alan.
No, we're done.
All right.
I know these are traps. It's a trap.
Yeah, he was so good. Like, how do you? I don't know. I thought he was a very good villain. It makes Jonathan Majors as Kang look weak.
You have a character here who has a clear motivation for what he is doing, and that right there is gold for an actor.
Right.
It's you know exactly how to play this. There's so much nuance to this character. It's again, you just give a description and the actor can have a field day with it. There's too much mystery revolving Kang. Even now I still don't really understand what he's going for and why we're leading up to this big Avengers Kang Dynasty thing, if that's ever going to happen again. This is, it's you have a villain, you know what they want, and you know why they're doing what they're doing. That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
Yeah, I just feel like with Kang, it's a big mystery, and I don't know that I care. They haven't made me care enough. Whereas every time you saw Thanos on the screen for like a half a second, you'd go, "Ooh, it's Thanos," and then he was gone. So,
yeah. And then they paid it off. They paid it off perfectly.
They paid it off. It was so, and then Thanos shows up as a character in the first Guardians, and you're like, wait, what? Thanos is here. It's great.
And then the opening scene of Avengers: Infinity War, it just lays out the menace that Thanos is.
Yeah. Well, look, here's what I'll say. It was. I'll say I liked this film a little better than Guardians 2. So I would rate this like a 7.5 or an 8, sort of in that range, and I would recommend it. In fact, I do plan to see it again, and I was surprised that I enjoyed it. Part of that might be that there's been such a lull since No Way Home that, and the Marvel movies have been so disappointing that now here's a watchable, fun Marvel movie that has stakes, with drama, with characters I care about, and it's good, and I'm shocked.
Yeah. You know what it is that Marvel has been so bad over the last few years that the worst parts of Guardians of the Galaxy is now amplified.
Yeah.
And just watching some of the streams have been going on, they've already declared this a failure, even though the movie hadn't come out yet, and a box office failure. And I'm like, I think we're pulling the trigger on that one too early. But it's just, we are so tired of what Marvel has done, what Disney has done to this great franchise, that again, the weaknesses are just being amplified.
Well, let's see. Let's go to your comments, and thank you so much, everyone in the chat, for just you're part of the conversation. So here we go. We'll get into spoilers on the back half of comments. We have a lot of them. Oh my gosh. D-Day Cobra is here. Yes, Man of Steel is a terrible Superman movie, says D-Day Cobra. Hey, shout out to you, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. I might see you later today. So there you go. Thank you for your comment. Oh my God, Magnum Norse for 50. Just watched Attack of the Dock and it made me cry. I'm a man, by the way. Magnum Norse, thank you. I've gotten that comment from people that they actually got oddly emotional at the end. I think part of it is the sense of loss that, our culture isn't like back then. It was like this idyllic time for nerd culture. And now we're at this kind of dark time. And I wanted to just remind people of what it was like back in the day. Magnum Norse, thank you so much for your super chat. And thank you for watching the movie. I hope you post a review and are willing to make this exact same comment in a review. It was weird because I thought like when we're doing the doc, I'm like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm like getting way overly sentimental. And I'm glad that because I thought like, oh, people are going to criticize. I'm going to get bad reviews because people are like, you're being too sentimental about this era of nerd culture. And I'm glad that other people responded that way emotionally. Thank you, Magnum Norse. I really appreciate it. That's very generous. Another super chat here. MM for 10. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 felt like breakup sex. Hey, by the way, breakup sex can be amazing. It reminds you of why you got together. It reminds you of why you're going your separate ways. I'm glad I saw it, and I don't want any more Guardians of the Galaxy films. I will go one step further. I don't know if I care to see another Marvel movie. Like, I'm good. I think after Endgame, we needed kind of like, after Endgame, like an epilogue of what happened. But we don't need the universe to continue. We can go on to other universes. That's why I think it was maybe a miscalculation or a bad idea for Marvel to say, well, we're just going to have things continue on. No, you can have them end, and you can wait a couple years, and then you can just reboot things, and you can start a new Marvel universe in the 60s with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and you could do Hank Pym, Ant-Man, with a younger actor playing Michael Douglas's character, Hank Pym. I think that would have been the way to go. And that way you avoid modernity, you tell classic storytelling. The X-Men is all about diversity and all that, everything that fills all that, because the X-Men have always been diverse. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a great comment, MM. A great comment. Thank you very much.
By the way, she's pregnant now, so.
Wait, what?
Oh, after the breakup sex?
Oh God, get out of here.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would say, the thing is Disney, along with Marvel and Star Wars, just Disney sees those two IPs as cash cows. And that's why they had to keep producing content, so that money keeps rolling in.
Or as they say in Dune, the content must flow.
Yeah.
Or the spice. MK Solid 82 for $4.99. Alan, Chris, make Alan Google Karen Gillan at the premiere. Her legs are out of this world. Alan, could you Google Karen Gillan at the premiere, Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think they sent us actually photos.
Could you put one of these photos and share it with everyone? I'm going to continue with the comments. Thank you, MK Solid, for the heads up. Akanika says, who's a member, 7.5 or 8 is about right. Well, there you are. Kevin Conrad, I saw this movie in IMAX Laser 3D, and I highly recommend seeing it in IMAX 3D. Thank you. Kelpie says, stop bullying Alan.
Yeah.
First of all, I love Alan is like, first of all, I never had a brother growing up, but I did have a sister. In fact, I have 3 sisters of different, but having Alan as a friend and a colleague here is a lot of fun. It's like the brother I never had. I'm very grateful to Alan. How would you define exploitation, Alan?
Exploitation? Gratuitous. Gratuitousness.
Gratuitousness is exactly how I would describe it. Greasy Guido has threat level 2, has been a member for 6 months, says, but Nebula is built like a frumpy man. Well, I don't know. I think Nebula just looks a little different in this. It might be Karen Gillan's figure may have, who knows? Dave Bautista looks like a bit more doughy. And as someone who is currently doughy and has been more doughy. All right, here we go. Here's the Karen Gillan photos. And there's a palm. Oh my God. Could you zoom in, Alan, a little?
Let me see if I can.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Isn't Palm, I can't pronounce your last name. Palm, the woman who plays Mantis, she's French.
Yeah, she's French-Canadian.
French-Canadian. There you are. She's fantastic. Her character. Look at them. It's great. Love it. Love it. Dark One says it was woke free. Chicken Little syndrome. Gunn went with the child thing. I guess that fits. You'd think he's avoid the subject considering why he was fired. I'm glad Gunn has the F word in his film and that adults think it's funny and great. It's just more adult for a Marvel movie. Oh, D-Day Cobra goes on to say, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the most emotionally heavy Marvel film ever. Jeremy, I agree with you 100%. It's, man, like the stuff with the animals was, I mean, can I just say this too? My daughter chose not to see this movie. I sent her, like, there's a little clip going around where all of the animals name themselves. Lila, Floor, Teefs. They name themselves. It's a beautiful scene. It's for a couple weeks. It's been on YouTube. I sent her that scene. She's like, I can't watch this. This is like animal torture. She loves animals, and I think she'll see it eventually, but she found it disturbing, and she didn't want to see it with our movie meetup group. So, Jeremy, I agree with you. Hopefully we'll chat about it later today.
I think
Charles,
Floor was the most heartbreaking.
and thank you. Shout out to Geeks and Gamers. But by the way, I am problematic because I talk to people from Geeks and Gamers.
Yep.
I'm problematic because I talk to people. Did you ever hear that one?
Yeah, there are videos about you and why you're so bad, and it's just because you appeared.
It's because
in an interview with Ryan Kinnell.
Yeah, it's because I will talk to people.
Yeah,
I will talk to people. I'm talk to people. You know, I don't care. And fine, you sit there in judgment of me because I talk to people. I think everyone should talk to everyone, and we should respect each other's views even when we disagree. We can coexist and disagree and live in the same country, which is the whole point of America. Charles W. Jansen for 2. Wait, no. Charles W. Jansen the second for 5. I got my numbers mixed up. I have a crush on Nebula. Don't know if it's her being blue, bald, her temper, or the mechanics. Well, she's very bendable. I'll just say that. Very bendable. Akanika says Rocket's flashbacks adds to the emotions. Oh man, the flashbacks were rough and hard and just, oh my God. I just think it's going to contribute to this movie is not going to perform as well as it might have at the box office, but people are going to look back on this movie and wow, it really takes you on a journey.
Yeah. I mean, people literally want to feel uplifted and like the world is great at the end of these movies, that good has triumphed over evil. And as much as the good guys win in this, and as in any superhero movie, it didn't give you that overwhelming feeling that maybe you got from maybe Return of the King or something like that.
Yeah. Fyodor Dankstovytsky. Fyodor Dankstovytsky.
Stoevsky.
5. Wait. Alan, could you pronounce it?
Fyodor Dankstoevsky.
Thanks, Alan. For 5, I gave Guardians of the Galaxy 3 a 7. Really enjoyed the characters after 45 minutes in, but the fetch quest plotting reminded me of The Rise of Skywalker. That knocked a lot off for me. I get it. It does after a while feel like a video game with like a task. It's sort of task related. So there you go. CB for 5. I loved Volume 3. It hit all the marks for me, especially the soundtrack. Middle-aged millennial here. So it really won me over. Well, I'm a Gen Xer and I like the soundtrack. So there you are.
I don't think it was as effective in this movie. I don't know if you're.
Soundtrack is not as big a deal in this film as it was in previous films. Although, can I just say something? I own a Zune. I haven't plugged it. Oh my God. I might find my Zune later and see if I could power it up. Should I try to charge my Zune?
You could try. I just remember when Microsoft first came out with it and thinking, this ain't going to work.
It was pretty cool because you could add it at a color screen at a time when the Apple didn't, and you could add backgrounds to it. So I created like these playlists that had like colors and backgrounds. It was gimmicky and it failed.
But it was an obvious attempt to take on the iPod.
Yeah. The Alex Zorba says Kevin Smith is crying right now. The nerd far away says, should we just go ahead and file a minority report for Disney? I feel they may be guilty of the pre-crime of murdering stories. We may do a Marvel trial. After the Star Wars trial, we might actually, we're talking about like people are suggesting other trials. We can't do this all the time. It's going to be a special. It might be once or twice a year we'll do trials, but we're not going to do it as a regular show. There's too much that goes into it. MK Solid 82, boy, Warlock, lol. Yeah, it's not Warlock. It's not Adam Warlock from the comics. It just isn't. So Joseph Panaccio says, saw Guardians last night and it was emotional, but unlike Marvel films these days, they let it breathe without interrupting with a corny joke. It had the heart missing from Marvel movies now. That's true. And Retribution Zero has become a new YouTube member. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Zavin, the best villains have more noble goals than the heroes like in Watchmen. Yeah. John Muwald, I had a full run of the Jim Starlin Warlock comics. He was my second favorite character from Marvel. Yeah, it's just, if you can separate, like, those comics still exist, but Adam Warlock in this movie is not the one from the comics. Just not. Pablo Parcio says, Chukwudi Iwuji was perfect in Peacemaker, and in this role, he definitely killed it. That's not that hard to pronounce. Chukwudi Iwuji. Chukwudi Iwuji. I hate to say this.
Sounds authentic coming out of you.
I wish he was playing Kang. He just had more gravitas with the accent, and I feel Jonathan Majors, as good of an actor as he is, I feel like he's been upstaged by this character. What are your thoughts?
Well, it helps that there's only one of the High Evolutionary and not an infinite number of Kangs.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is, like in Loki, he's just basically a guy, the normal guy Kang. This other one, he's just a Kang that seems mean. And then you unveil and realize there's so many. The spectrum of Kangs is wide and varied, and it's just you got to start with the best ones. Start with the best ones, and then you can get into the more weirder versions of it. And I think they just went at it from the wrong order, the wrong direction.
It's okay to laugh. Why did they change Groot? He looked awesome in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Now he looks like a bloated cosplay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what's so funny? He actually looks like a Groot costume that I saw at Dragon Con. Like, legit, I'm like, oh my God, that looks like the Groot costume at Dragon Con that I saw. He looks different. I agree with you. I also thought he did not look as good.
Yeah. The Groot in our background here is the original Groot. And
yeah,
it's definitely the best version of Groot.
I like the original Groot better from the first film. They should have just gone to that. Solomon Thornton, Chris is getting me hyped to see the film. It's I went in with low expectations, and it was much better than I thought it would be. High Evolutionary made human animal hybrids in the comics. Yep. I have.
And he does in this one. I think we don't need to go into a spoiler review.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of it's almost, oh my God, we're short on time here.
I think we've said enough. I don't know that we need to.
Well, the one thing is this could be considered, the end of the movie is so grotesque, children will be shocked by it. This is you know what I'm talking about. The High Evolutionary meets the High Evolutionary gets what the High Evolutionary deserves. And it's terrifying. It's actually terrifying. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, says Kelpie. I think we're living through that now. Oh, Fear the Turtle came in with a $10 super chat, who says, another guy here who got choked up watching Attack of the Doc, and I'm not ashamed. Great job, Chris. I got extremely nostalgic for the show, old G4, and that era in general. Just want to say thank you. Well, thank you, Fear the Turtle. I am going to do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait, actually. We're going to do a Attack of the Doc watch party. I'm going to do it in August after the Blu-ray is available, just as a reminder that the Blu-ray is available. And it will be a very long stream doing a watch party. So there you go. And thank you, Fear the Turtle. I'm emotional about that era. And I wanted to, and also seeing where nerd culture is now, the fact that we can't disagree, and we used to disagree all the time and just talk to each other. The fact that I'm problematic because I talk to other people. Okay, that is we're living in the dumb times. So, but thank you, Fear the Turtle. I appreciate it. Alan, could you please pronounce the name again?
Fyodor Dostoevsky. I got it. Yeah, Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Fyodor Dostoevsky for 10 says Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Adam Warlock equals Spider-Man 3 Venom. Ooh, yeah. Unfortunately true. Feeling something during an MCU film, says Tim Morrill. Fair enough. Yeah.
By the way, we just reviewed his movie, Look Into
Tim
the
Morrill?
Fire. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Tim.
I believe that's
Well, there
you.
you go.
That is you, Tim, right? Look Into the Fire?
Is it on the Film Threat website? Go to the
I
review.
posted
Share
it
it.
yesterday, in fact. It was
Post it on the screen. Tim, thank you. So it's so funny that so many filmmakers aren't even aware that we have a YouTube channel. So they're like, yeah, you reviewed my movie. And then they just sort of bolt. Well, there you go.
A little sci-fi thriller.
Sweet. And it's got Aquafina's in it.
No. Again,
that's not
Asians don't
Aquafina?
all look alike. We all have distinct looks and personalities.
I was hoping you would call me out, Alan. I set you up.
I think I just did.
I set you up. But Tim, check out the review of Tim's film. And thank you, Tim, for your comment and just for watching the stream. We just have fun talking about movies. Alan Horkin, Baby Groot / Swole Groot is a whole different person, can be considered son of original Groot. Interesting. Oh, snap. Alan painted the pink. Yeah. Major Grubert, where have you been? Alan did a whole painting live stream for members only.
He's not a member. That's why.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you're not a member. There was a whole, but we did talk about there was a. I offered Alan like a carrot. I said I would get him a PS5 if he painted his room because we had so many complaints about the room. He finally painted the room, and I did give Alan the PS5.
Yeah,
we have that video.
It's connected to this nice large television.
We have the video. Here's the video of Alan getting the PS5 for painting his room.
I just want to say my co-conspirator, Alan Ng at Film Threat, has done a great job. He earned this PS5. Alan,
Yes.
here you go.
Yeah!
Dude, what are you doing?
It's just an honor for me to finally have a PS5.
Alan Horkin. Okay, we already got that one. Let's see. Patrick Lemire says, so does Guardians of the Galaxy 3 tone make us feel like Gunn can do a serious, heartfelt Superman movie? Yes. I think he can. I think, though, here's the problem. Here's the problem, not just with Gunn's films. I think the first Guardians movie might be my favorite Marvel movie because it took these characters that I didn't, I remember reading the original Guardians, but not with Peter Quill, Star-Lord. I read the original Guardians.
With Yondu.
All of that. Yeah, I loved it. It was weird. It was just weird and different. It was cosmic Marvel. I loved it. He's got to show restraint. And I think the problem is with a lot of the, not just Marvel movies, but movies in general, they're too long. Sisu, which is still in theaters, is 93 minutes. It's awesome. 93-minute movie. And I love it. Love it. So just show restraint, please. Alan, could you?
No, I think he wants you to do it. I think that's the point of that comment from Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Well, at least I can pronounce ha 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 ha. So there you go. Alan Horkin says the heist subplot was a dead end. If it had actually been an essential part of the story, it would have been so much better. Well, I still like that sequence. Having said that, everything in this movie could have been so much tighter. Like it just, I do like that the film gave things time to breathe so that the drama feels like it matters. But
the thing with me was when you realize that half the team invaded a ship to rescue the other half that had already escaped off the ship, you realize, this ending is going to be very long. Yeah,
it just unnecessarily dragged. Yeah. And
that's funny. But it's like, Wow, we're dragging this one out.
2 hours, please. 2 hours. 2 hours of impactful, 2 hours that makes me wish there was more. And then you can do a special edition. You can do a special edition Blu-ray extended cut, the extended volume, whatever you want to say. So there you go. Derek Douglas for 5. Hi guys. Do you think that Will Poulter is a great actor that's always cast wrong? Love you guys. Yeah, I actually liked him, but like to me that was like an Adam Warlock, I don't know. It just wasn't Adam Warlock from the comics. But I like Will Poulter. So
yeah. He's got an interesting look. He looks like a Southerner, but he's from England.
Yeah. Lubitsch Touched Me says, sounds like the Before trilogy. The third film is not nearly as fun or pleasant as the first two, but is by far the most poignant and mature of the three. That is true.
Yeah.
Patrick Lemire says, Vin Diesel must be the king of work to pay ratio. He literally had one line for 3 films, king of slack. It's actually not true. When James Gunn, when he goes in to do the session where Vin Diesel reads the I am Groot lines, James Gunn puts in what he's actually saying. So it's like, here's what Groot is actually saying. And then it's try to convey this, but say I am Groot.
Wow. So you're saying James Gunn never recycled an I am Groot line?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Derek Douglas for 5 says, oh, wait, we already got that.
Yeah, we got that one.
Sorry. All right, okay. And the Alex Zorba Threat Level 1 has been a member for 9 months, says, my Zune HD is still in my car. Rock on, boys. I'm going to drag out my Zune. Definitely going to drag out my Zune. Chicken Little Syndrome, unless something changes, Guardians 3 is on track to underperform. That is true. I think can I tell you my theory as to why? It's because a lot of these other Marvel movies, people are not loving them. I mean, Wakanda Forever was bad. It might be my least favorite. It might be the worst Marvel movie. It might be the worst Marvel movie. How do you take the character of Black Panther, make a Black Panther movie, and not have Black Panther in the movie? I'm sorry, Shuri is not Black Panther. Facts. They should have made Killmonger. I don't care how you work it out. Have Michael B. Jordan become Black Panthers through. You could write that into existence. I'm sorry.
The Marvels is coming out. We'll see who wins the worst.
By the way, that trailer got no reaction in the theater. Packed with Marvel fans, got zero reaction in the theater to that trailer. No applause, no, big laughs. Like, it just sort of a thud. On track to underperform. It has Quantum Media numbers so far. All post-Endgame excitement for these films is gone. Last year's films took care of that. Chicken Little Syndrome, that is called Nail on the Head. It's a series of bad movies. I explained it very simply on the Nerdrotic Nooner with Gary Beekler, or as someone said, Gary Bueller, I heard on a recent stream. It's if you keep ordering pizza from a place and they deliver pizza and it's not very good pizza, you will stop ordering pizza from that place. Facts. So I kind of feel like people have been trained that the stuff hits video on demand or Disney Plus so quickly that they're just like, I'll just wait, or I'll wait till the crowds die down, or I just have other stuff to do. So yeah, Chicken Little Syndrome, 100%. Cricket's Cosplay. I love hearing about review of the movie, but I'm hoping to one day hear about the Kermit casket behind Alan. Alan, explain.
Explain the Kermit casket? No, it's very simple. I used to sell collectibles. This is from Master Replicas. They did a series of Muppet photo puppets, and Kermit was the one I kept. I believe they did a Gonzo and a Fozzie, which I was not able to get my hands on. So, and this is my daughter designed most of the background there, and this is the favorite position of hers for Kermit. Simple as that.
Well, there you go, Alan.
Yeah.
There you are. And that's what we'd like to call there you go. We're getting close to all the X-Ray Dad videos.
Yeah. We have some movies. Did we still want to review a few movies?
Yeah, well, we might go longer. Remember we talked about if we're doing Critics Court, we may go longer.
Yeah, because the bank of movies is piling up.
Well, I'll say this to everyone and over 600 people watching. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We have Critics Court trial on Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Please tune in. Which means we're not going to have time to review our what we're going to do is just do longer streams on Fridays. So this may go a little longer than normal. So there you go. Desiree Wong says, loved it, was dreading. Wait, Desiree Wong, any relation to Mike MC? I'm not going to out you. Desiree, loved it, was
There's a lot of
dreading
Wongs in the world. I hate to say it to you.
Well, I'm looking at the picture. All right.
Maybe. I'm just saying every third Chinese person you meet is a Wong.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Loved it. Was dreading it because not happy with recent Guardian stuff, but this was such a lovely resolution. Technically, Rocket's personality was a void because it was a younger him through the movie. That's true. Mm-hmm. Lubitsch Touch Me. Please review Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. Been waiting forever to hear you guys' thoughts. We will do that today. Sir Switch Crookington, Threat Level 2, has been a member for 3 months, says that pizza analogy is false when Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Papa John's exists. Well, agree. What I'm saying is if you constantly order from the same place, you stop getting that pizza. My pizza analogy makes sense. So there you go.
Especially when it's mediocre pizza.
Life of Bree says, I liked how even though Rocket was unconscious for most of the film, he was still an active character through the unveiling of his backstory. And It's Okay to Laugh says Guardians of the Galaxy 3 feels like a cheaper Fifth Element with fewer stakes, and everyone is the comic relief. Even the guy next to me fell asleep. MCU fatigue is real. I actually like the Fifth Element sort of inspired stuff. I like the sort of weird cosmic stuff. So there you are. Should we play before we pivot? We were going to talk spoilers, but I think that a lot of people would drop off.
I think we've said what we need to say.
I think we've said the big spoilers are at the very end, and I think that is.
Yeah, I think the point to make out of the ending is this is a self-contained movie. It does not go beyond the borders of Guardians of the Galaxy, so it doesn't spoil anything about the overall Marvel product
or the Marvel universe. So, and Gone Home X says Chris is so Wong.
Yeah, there are a lot of Wong jokes now coming through the chat.
Oh, there you go. All right. There you are. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna just pivot really quickly. Because Alan did a series of videos that were originally intended to appear on FNT. He sent 4 videos while we were live.
Yeah,
I would like
you asked me to do them as you started the video.
Okay. Alan sent these videos into FNT to play last week. They played one of the videos. Let me just say this. I'm going to play all 4. Tell me, do you like video 1, 2, 3, or 4, or none? But wait until I play. This is video number 1.
Oh, X-Ray Girl, look at you. You need to stop watching Dylan Mulvaney makeup videos. I get it. You're 100 days of being a fake white girl. Ay-ya.
That was great. That was fantastic.
I don't know if I want to play the rest of these. This is really
that was actually
I'm embarrassed for you.
The last one it led up to. You're
Should I
playing
play?
backwards. I think.
I don't know if at first I was going to have
You were
people
playing
rank them. Now I just feel sad. I'll play one more, and I'll see if the
Don't do the
chat.
short one. Don't
This
do
is
the short one.
Oh, X-ray girl, you look so stupid on Friday Night Tights. You look like a banana in a bowl of rice. Ayah!
You played the short one.
that was the short one.
Yeah.
Should I continue to play these, chat, or should we just move on? All right, people are saying do it. All right, we got 2 more videos.
Oh, X-ray girl, it's your father, X-ray dad. Your mother and I are so disappointed. We moved all the way from communist China, so what? You can move to Canada? Oh, what's the point? Ayah!
Hi, Dad, I miss you.
Oh my God, Alan. Look, also, by the way, we had like close to 700 people. People have dropped out now. People have dropped out.
Oh, X-ray girl, I should have known we'd find you in Las Vegas. What slutty things are you doing there? Are you on the stripper pole? Are you doing laps?
Hi, Dad, I miss you.
This
You didn't
is
even finish that one.
I didn't even finish. I couldn't finish it.
Oh, come on.
This was the worst. Here, you could try it again live. So people are saying number 3 is
No,
the best.
I'm not doing it live.
Well, okay.
Okay. Let's set some context here. FNT had just started, and I get a text saying, "Hey, Alan, you got to make these videos." And I'm like, "Oh, this is not going to work." He goes, "No, do it. It's going to be funny." And there you go.
Well, I mean, people are saying you did.
When Chris gives you comedy directions.
Skate or Die, it says mean Canadian accent.
Yeah.
And this is here. You should read this comment.
It's also racist.
Okay, this one. Yeah, Beerosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Alan Horkin says X-ray girl laughed. That's all that mattered. Well, I mean, here, hopefully, Alan, you'll be problematic because you talk to people from Friday Night Tights. So,
well, technically,
there you go. All right. Well, I feel sad that we've done this now. If Film Threat, the YouTube channel, has reached a new low, this is the low. This is the low. So at this point, we really need to pivot. I guess. Sorry, Alan.
For the record, this was your idea. This was you prompting me on a Friday afternoon when I'm laying down and watching FNT. This is like, make these videos.
I thought it would be.
I was doing errands at the time.
I didn't know that you would. Oh, all right. I thought you were just going to say. I thought you were just going to do your normal voice, like just say like, "Hey, it's X-ray Dad." Like,
zero instructions.
My instructions were
just make them go full Asian on these things you say.
No, I said be like just say I'm really disappointed in you.
It's not funny.
It would have been funny.
It wasn't funny.
All right, we're gonna pivot.
I had to make it better than what you.
All right, we're okay. All right, I believe you. All right, let's pivot. Let's pivot as we lose half our audience, and we're gonna pivot from talking about a Marvel movie to "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret."
I will say I saw this movie instead of Guardians last night, so.
It is based on the Judy Blume book, which was when I was in school. The Judy Blume book, "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret," was all the rage. Girls read this book, and it was not a book for boys. I was reading Henry Huggins books, or Danny Dunn, or Tom Swift. No one knows those books. Or the Hardy Boys. I would read the Hardy Boys. And then there was Nancy Drew. I never read the Nancy Drew books because those books were for girls. I would read the boys' books. So Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I never read as a kid. I was well familiar with the author. Judy Blume wrote this novel. It is set in the 70s. It's about a young girl who is on the cusp of becoming a woman. She moves from the city out to more the suburbs of New Jersey, makes a whole new group of friends, and it's her trying to traverse school. She's in elementary school, but she's at that time of life where she's about to get her first period. So that's of concern to all of her newfound female friends. They're all talking about boys. They're going to have this club. They're all going to wear training bras. So they start this secret club, and it's all of their adventures of these young women. It's played very innocently. And it's also about, Margaret has these conversations with God, yet her family is divided. On her mother's side of the family, they're Christian, and they're not particularly tolerant of the Jewish side of the family, which is her father's side. They have allowed Margaret to, they're not going to push any particular religion on her. So it's also a bit refreshing to see a film that actually even acknowledges religion in people's lives as a thing. I really enjoyed this film, surprised how much I enjoyed it. I love that I grew up during this era. Okay. I was maybe a little too young. But a lot of it was very familiar in terms of going over to people's houses, playing dumb party games, being just kind of timid and awkward about things. We didn't have the internet, so it's a much more innocent time, or cell phones or any of that stuff. If you went to do something with someone, you would literally just go to their house and yell their name to see if they could come outside to play. That's what we did. We didn't even use phones. We just went over to the neighbor's house where their kids down the street. I'm just going to go see if they want to come out and play a game of tag, or maybe we'll climb trees, or, we'll take crab apples. We would take crab apples and throw them at each other. Or, we get together and hey, we're going to walk to the corner drugstore and we're going to get a popsicle for 20 cents. And it really portrayed that era accurately. Also, the sort of mystery of adults. I do like the actors in this that it's all from the perspective of Margaret, and kind of in her head about speaking to God, and her struggling with, her parents are not going to force any religion on her, and she kind of has two options that are represented by her grandparents. I really love this movie. I think a lot of it has to do with the lead actress, whose name escapes me. She's very charming.
Abby Ryder-Fortson, who is the original Cassie from Ant-Man.
Yeah, she was really good. And it's just a very innocent film. It's not like push. There's not anything that's overtly. This is what it's like to grow up. Your beginnings of puberty, and you're feeling awkward. You're having feelings about the opposite sex. These things are all normal. And if we could use a movie like this more than any other time, it's now. Growing up is awkward, weird, and normal. And your acceptance of your body and yourself might be a message we need now more than ever. Because growing up is weird. There's a really interesting shot. I mean, I'm sort of going through flourishes with this film. There's a really interesting shot where Margaret looks at a boy who has his shirt off, and he has underarm hair. It's not a big. It's got just a little bit of underarm hair, and she notices the boy has underarm hair. She notices all these details about other girls. She's very awkward. She is great. That actress who played Cassie in the original Cassie in Ant-Man, fantastic. All from her point of view. It's not super. There's no sort of woke agenda. It's slice of life, coming of age in a more innocent time. And even the parent roles are so fun. I love the whole thing with the parents and how all their little things, they don't have a couch in their living room. They trying to figure out what couch. So he puts lawn furniture in the living room. It's this is perfect. This is fine. It just when you would have barbecues and you would sit around and eat dinner as a family together and not look at your phone. I love this film. Can't recommend it enough. I would recommend taking kids to see this film. No, seriously, I would recommend. I would recommend taking kids. Now, not like 5-year-old. It's not like a film for kids, but like 10, 11 years old. These are things they're about to experience, and
I have something to say about that.
Please. So I really enjoyed this movie. It's a family movie, not for like a 5-year-old, but like older kids, and I really enjoyed it. And now I never read the book, but I will say this: I was aware of the book because when I was in elementary school, every girl was like, "Have you read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?" A girl has a period in the movie. And so loved it, recommend it. Alan, what did you think of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
Yeah, I'll just start. I agree with you in terms of the quality of the film, the quality of the storytelling, just the story itself, excellent. It's worth doing. I will say, I went to see it last night. It was going to be my alternative to Guardian since I'd seen it already. And in a way, I was begging my daughter to come see it with me. She said no, and thank God she didn't come, because for me to sit next to my teenage daughter to watch a movie about periods, it's not something a dad should have been subjected to, and thankfully I wasn't. I will say at the end of the movie, let's just say that this moment in my child's life was basically I was alienated from that, and it was something between my daughter and my wife, and I had, they won't talk about it, they won't bring it. I feel like I was robbed of a moment to bond with my daughter during that time, and I feel like like something has been taken away from the parenting experience after seeing this movie, and I feel legit robbed and gypped out of this moment of my child's life. So but saying that,
well, can I interject? Can I interject for a second? I don't feel robbed at all. For this is a question only for the women in the chat. I know there are not many of you. I don't think that any young woman goes to their dad when they're having a problem downstairs. That never happens. It is a mom thing. In the movie, the daughter, she has conversations with her mother about these things, which is appropriate. And I think that that's how, like, as a dad, I didn't feel robbed that, like, my daughter didn't share certain things with me. She shared those things with her mother. I feel that is perfectly normal and fine. Women in the chat, please confirm. I don't feel robbed at all.
In this family of mine, there's only one time in which I am asked to leave the room, and it's during these conversations. And thankfully, there's a movie out there that helps walk me through what happened.
Any good dad would just leave the room.
Yeah, but I'm the guy that has to buy this stuff. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm cool with buying the stuff. I'll do whatever. But, conversations are probably better had with another person who has also been through that experience. As someone who's never been through that experience, I'm not sure how helpful I can be. But if needed, I will step up to the task. I will be the good dad. Well, I'll step up if needed.
But not gonna learn stuff in school anymore. That's right.
I just think that a young girl would be more comfortable having those conversations with her mother, and that is in the film.
I'm her dad. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there you go. Well, Alan, would you recommend Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
I would actually. Okay, so I would recommend it in terms of the quality of the film, the quality of the acting, the script, the direction, everything. It's a movie not meant for me. It's a movie absolutely not meant for me. And,
right.
And that's okay. And that's fine. And, I, like you, have heard of Judy Blume, especially in my youth. But I would have never read a Judy Blume novel. I never have.
Neither have I. I read a lot of, like, I don't know, boys' adventure books. I did read a lot of Roald Dahl. Loved Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So
yeah. Again, those are written for
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I grew up in a family essentially of men, with my mom being the lone woman. So
Well,
that's kind of it's context.
There you go. Let's go through these chat comments and questions. We have more movies to review, and we will do a longer stream today. Normally we go to the top of the hour, 2 hours. We're going to go north of 2 hours. We're going to be just like Marvel movies from now on Fridays while we're doing the court case. We're going to go north of 2 hours. If people don't like that, please let us know. And we're going to do some members only streams. We're going to start doing that just to, I want to get some feedback on the trial and whatnot. So we'll be doing that for members. Let's go to your comments here, starting with Mike Wait for 508. That rhymes. Did you mean to do that on purpose, Mike Wait for 508? I still cannot get over how wonderful Picard season 3. Absolutely a triumph of somebody who understands the source material and the fans. 100%. Terry Matalas outdid himself. So ecstatic for that. I want to watch. I actually don't really want to. I want to just get the Blu-ray of it. I want to get the 4K Blu-ray of season 3.
And I believe there is a commentary on those as well.
Is it coming?
I think I heard that.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to Okay, well,
but like Guardians of the Galaxy, Picard season 3 is the last good Star Trek you're gonna see for a very long time.
100%. Matthew Hammond for 2. I appreciate Alan's X-Ray Dad videos.
Aww.
Well, I hope you appreciate him. It's the last time you're ever gonna see him.
Oh, X-ray girl, you look so stupid.
Oh, no way. Stop it. Alan, stop it. Can't Navy lacks 2 for 20 Danish. Is it Danish krona?
I believe, yeah.
It's time Galactus swallows the MCU. And Patrick
Danish krone.
Danish krones. Thank you for 20 of those. Patrick Lemire for $1.99 says, how long will the writer's strike go? Chat GTP looms. The last writer's strike was 100 days-ish. This will be the same or longer.
Yeah. Hey, let me give you a hint on where
that's
it
my
is right now.
My prediction. So.
Okay. So let me tell you where it stands right now. They are not talking at the moment, and on the 10th, the producers are going to enter negotiations with the Directors Guild, and they're gonna be tied up with the directors for a week or two. So this is gonna go on for a while.
Well, it's the directors that'll be resolved quickly because there's literally one issue to resolve. The writers have all these issues. What I want to see is a lot of bad writers just leave the industry. Yeah. I'm sorry. That needs to happen. So I think it'll go several months.
Yeah.
Now, this is just based on previous history. The Writers Guild strikes tend to go longer anyways because they like to make a big deal. You don't see the Directors Guild. You don't see directors on a picket line. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but I saw a really good George Lucas cosplay on the picket line. Oh my God. The pictures are hilarious. Someone dressed up as George Lucas. It was great.
Is that Josh?
I'm not sure. Bill S. Preston Esquire. Judy Blume wrote plenty of books for boys. Are You There, God was really good for boys, in my opinion. One of the many JB books I gave to my daughter. Oh, really? Maybe I got it wrong then. Judy Blume, there's also a documentary that I need to see. It's going to be on Amazon. What's that?
It's on Amazon Prime, yeah.
Amazon Prime. What's the name of it? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. I think might just be called Judy. But
no. Yeah, I'll pull it up here. We did review it.
Anyways, that's on my list to watch. I really want to see it. But yeah, you're okay. So I stand corrected, Bill S. Preston. Thank you for that. Aaron Taylor says Eric Weber said Oscar caliber lead performance. Life of Bree says, lol, these stage whispers are cracking me up. Sure. Kat, it sounds so normal. Chris talks like he describes parallel universe. Yeah, it's just called Judy, right?
Judy Blume Forever.
Judy Blume Forever.
Yeah.
That's the name of the movie. All right, well, there you go. Did it get a good review?
Yes, it did.
Cool. Yeah, I know it sounds so normal. That's my point is it's almost like we need a movie like that to remind us of when we weren't so crazy. So there you go. All right. Nicholas Vargo for $9.99. Best movie of the year so far. The director of The Edge of 17 has another winner. It's that good. Plus, Rachel McAdams and Benny Safdie are terrific as the parents. Nicholas, I agree with you. Rachel and Benny as the parents are fantastic. It's also just, it's just like, the movie's innocent. It deals with very serious issues, religion, you know, coming of age and dealing with changes in your body, but in such a matter of fact, like normal way that, you know.
Yeah, and set in a time when life was so much simpler.
Yeah, I mean, they deal with like, they're looking for playboys, you know, like they're having they're having conversations about like, you know, changes in their body, but it's just a normal, it's played very matter of factly, not a big deal. It's really, really enjoyed this film. Yeah.
Can you imagine if they tried to bring this story to appeal to a modern audience, to a modern era?
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm glad they just kept it kind of the era, right? Solomon Thornton says, my mom grew up reading Judy Blume books. I grew up reading Hardy Boys and Goosebumps. I miss those books. I do too. Henry Huggins I like that. Patrick Lemire says, so it's like Carrie without pig's blood. Chucksy says, no, Aaron Taylor says, Alan, where was the Asian representation?
Yeah, there was a girl, one of the students who was Asian.
Shuxy says religion exists in the world. What a concept. Not according to Hollywood. Mike MC Wong proclaims she is atheist, doesn't believe in God, then gets period and suddenly faith restored. But yes, she is a good actress. Replacing her in Ant-Man was a big mistake. I want to see it, Chris, says Tina Guzman. I probably pronounced that in an offensive way. My apologies, Tina. Paul Marino, X-Ray Girls first period. Aye.
Aye.
Wait, try that again.
Aye. Clip that, people.
Wow. Alan got deep. Respect, Alan. No jokes. Completely serious here. Alan's joking, obviously. He wasn't robbed. He was spared, says AIA. And then Tina Guzman says, aw, Alan is so sweet.
I know.
Alan's got a great sense of humor. So that's how
I have a great daughter too. I'm just going to say that.
Your daughter interviewed me once for a school project. I was blown away. I had a conversation with Alan after. I was like, Alan, your daughter is like super intelligent and way beyond her years, mature wise. Like she's, in my opinion, I said, Alan, I think your daughter's dangerous. She's way too smart.
Oh man, do I have stories?
The Chicago Box says, I've been sent to the store. Fear the Turtle 21 says, my fiance has said basically the same thing. For womanly problems, she went to her mom, never her dad. I think that's just normal. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just the fact that I'm being excluded in areas of this family's. Yeah.
It's, you know what? I don't mind being excluded from some things. Kat says, confirm. So there you go. Alan's daughter is a trusted media source, says Patrick Lemire. The nerd far away. Yes, I went to mom regarding anything downstairs, and I didn't want dad around. We never asked dad to buy any women's stuff either. MK Solid 82 for $1.99. Ayah is what the old China man said in Gremlins.
Yeah. No, it's what my whole family says all the time.
What do they say?
You know, the clip, you guys, I gave you clip fodder already, so take that one.
Okay, and Barton Bella.
By the way, my daughter hates more movies than Eric Weber, so
well, there you go. She could do midnight daughter talk. I took my daughter for a car ride, explained things, and told her she could ask me anything. It breaks the ice since you're unable to stare at each other because you're looking at the road. Well, there you go. That's one way to handle it. Wait, X-Ray Girl. Is this the real X-Ray Girl? Hey, X-Ray Girl. Hello, y'all. My dad says, yeah, all the time. Do you, Alan?
Oh, yeah.
You got to read this one.
Hi, Dad. I miss you.
All right.
Thank you, X-Ray Girl. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll see you later.
Oh, X-Ray Girl, you look so stupid on Friday Night Tights. You look like a banana in a bowl of rice. Ay-ya!
Oh my God.
You have to play that Vegas one all the way through. That's it.
Which one? This one?
Oh, X-Ray Girl, I should have known we'd find you in Las Vegas. What slutty things are you doing there? Are you on the stripper pole? Are you doing lap dances? Are you assembling furniture? Hey, I hear Chris Gore needs an IKEA chair screwed into the floor, if you know what I mean. Ay-ya!
Okay, by the way, Ms. P Coffee has lost it. She spit out her coffee. She's running the chat and everything.
She ruined her keyboard.
Lost it. Oh no, thank you, X-Ray Girl. I'll see you later today. X-Ray Girl does an amazing show called Poor Choices. P-O-U-R Choices. Subscribe to X-Ray Girl's channel. She will build IKEA shelves. She plays video games, and she has conversations with her lady friends about girl stuff. And she is also a great person. Just a great person and fun to hang out with in Vegas. Can confirm. Patrick Lemire says, Alan sounds like the third Hans and Franz brother. Like he's going to call Chris a girly man. So the Chicago Box says, Alan has hidden talent. Alan, I've seen Alan do his comedy.
Yeah.
I got to come down to San Diego again.
Saturday, I'm at National Comedy Theater in San Diego last 2 Saturdays of the month.
Cool.
So Memorial Day weekend, I'll be there.
Jericho Leon says, I think I failed. And then Solomon Thornton says, my mom grew up reading. Oh, wait, we did that one already. Sorry about that. Let's see. Last comment here about this topic. Alan should play Emperor Ming, says Solomon Thornton.
Yeah,
So
let's get a real Asian in that role.
Cool. All right. Well, let's thank you for your comments and questions. You know what? We're going to review another movie. We are going to review another film. So that means we're going to pivot quickly here. A film that I have not seen, but I am very interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Because it just looks weird. I think, is there a trailer for this on our YouTube channel?
There might. Yeah.
There might be. Okay, so by the way, we have a separate YouTube channel. We have the main channel that you're watching now, where we review and do live streams and our show Critics Court. We have a movie trailers channel, every day new movie trailer. And it's called Film Threat Trailers. Please subscribe to Film Threat Trailers. We're so close to being monetized. Then we have a separate channel that we also just launched, Film Threat Interviews. It's just interviews with filmmakers and interesting people. You did an interview there, one of the best interviews ever done for the channel.
Yeah, with Stephen Merchant.
So subscribe to those channels. But this movie, Freaks versus the Reich, just based on the poster, I'm interested in seeing this movie. Alan, tell us about Freaks versus the Reich.
Yeah, this is a wonderful movie. Think of it this way. Let's say you took the X-Men, you had them fight Nazis, then you had Tim Burton write and direct it, and then you add boobs and peepees in it. That's what this movie is. Basically, the story takes place during World War II, as the Nazis were kind of taking over Italy, so to speak. There's a circus there, but these freaks, they have abilities. One of them is kind of a werewolf, has heightened strength, has superhuman strength, let's call it that. There's a girl, Matilda, who can emit electricity from her body. There's a guy, Mario, kind of a shorter man, who is magnetic. He can attract metal. And then there's another one who basically can speak to insects. And so what's going on is the movie opens with a circus performance. And at the end finale, the entire town that they're performing in is bombed. And you see a camera go through the town, devastation from the Nazi takeover of this Italian town. And so the freaks decide that they need to get out of there, and they're going to head to America. But in the process, the Nazis are now gathering up all the Jews in town, including the circus owner, the circus ringmaster, and as they're trying to escape Italy, they're basically captured by the Nazis, of which there is one himself who is superhuman, who has powers. He has 6 fingers. He's a lieutenant. His 6 fingers allows him to play the piano very well. And for some reason, I'm not exactly sure why, but he's able to get glimpses into the future. And so the song he plays is actually Creep. And then he plays some other modern tunes from today. And so it's basically the story of this team of freaks working together to escape. This is kind of the superhero movie you're looking for. It's such a relief. It's made in Italy. It's an Italian production. And the thing that makes that such an important point is it is void of all these hangups American films have. It's just a straightforward story, pushes the edge. It's definitely a rated R movie. But the politics, other than Nazis, politics is not injected in this movie. It's a group of people working together to defeat the Third Reich, and I would highly suggest it.
So you're recommending Freaks versus the Reich, because I wanted to see this just because it's so weird. I saw the poster. I'm like, what the hell is it? Is it like you've seen Sisu? Is it like comparative to like Sisu? Like it's like Sisu but with the X-Men?
Yeah, it's that. It's a little more surrealistic. That's why I think it definitely has some Tim Burton vibes to it, especially the way it's shot. The production of it is very Burton-esque. Like I said, boobs and peepees.
Well, there you go. Let's go to some quick comments here. Now I'm really interested. Greasy Guido says dubbed or captioned?
Captioned.
Cool. Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel. Jedi Allen, this is the movie you are looking for. And thank you, Fletcher, for being a member. John Mewold, sounds cool. Greasy Guido, is this in theaters?
It's in limited release and it's on VOD.
Gotcha. MK Solid 82 says, for $1.99 says, I demand that Alan do a proper short round clip.
Yeah, we're not getting that.
At what level of a super chat would you do a...
I think I've done one already, in fact.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, Alan Horkin, Chris Gore made a guest appearance on Poor Choices and discussed The Bachelorette in great detail. That is false. That is fake news.
Yeah, it wasn't the
No, let me make the correction to Alan Horkin. I did make a guest appearance on Poor Choices to discuss 90 Day Fiance. So there you go.
I swear, I was just flipping through YouTube, and there you were talking about.
Well, there you are. All right, we're gonna do short comment, just a small number of comments between, because we have 2 more movies that we're gonna review, and I got to get on FNT today. So happy Cinco de Mayo, folks, and don't forget the 3 brave amigos who fought the infamous El Guapo and his plethora of bandidos to free the people of Santa Poco. Says Wes Ray.
The infamous El Guapo.
Infamous.
Okay.
Infamous.
He's more than famous. He's infamous.
He's infamous.
Okay.
All right. Well,
have you even seen that movie?
What's that?
The Three Amigos.
Years ago. I have not seen it recently.
Okay.
So, all right, we're going to pivot for a second to a film that I have seen. Just a moment, folks.
Yeah.
This might be one of the shortest reviews I ever do. Chevalier was a real person who was the son, a slave owner had relations with one of his slaves, resulting in a mixed race son who he sent off to private school to be educated, who became basically a brilliant at many different things in school, in particular composing music. This is based on a real person during just before the French Revolution, and this fits in a category of films that I would say I would almost rather see a documentary about the real thing than the movie I'm watching now. It's and having seen a movie that is similar to that called Amadeus, which is, yes, an older film. I love the movie Amadeus, not just because of the music, the performance by Tom Hulce as Mozart Amadeus is fantastic. This film doesn't do any of that. There's illicit romance with Chevalier. There's Chevalier constantly being berated because he's, because of his race, which just gets so tiresome to see this also in films. It's like, it's just like, we've seen this kind of story. I'd rather see different stories, right? Where that's not constantly a thing that's hanging. I feel like I didn't really get to know Chevalier, the real person in this, which is why I mentioned I'd rather see a documentary. In addition, I will say the saving grace for this movie, it's an hour, 43 minutes, but it wants to be profound. It wants to make a statement, and it seems so rooted in modernity and the message that it got cringe-inducing at times. It doesn't have what the Amadeus film had, which is the music of Mozart. I'm thinking, let's hear the Chevalier music that is so beloved. And the movie didn't really stop long enough to help you fall in love with the music. I thought this movie was a colossal disappointment. It just opened in theaters, I believe, last week in wider release, which I was in a theater that was nearly empty. I can't recommend it. I was interested enough to go see it. I thought the trailer was not very good, and the movie is worse. So I would say a very, very mixed to negative review. You were saying, Alan?
Yeah, we reviewed it. Andy Howell gave it a 6 out of 10. He says, it's simultaneously pretty good and rather bad.
Yeah, that's it. It's like okay, and then it's awful. Yeah, and Andy is usually generous to movies.
Yeah.
So yeah. Andy is generous. He gave it a 6. I would give it a 4. So I cannot recommend Chevalier. Really disappointing. And there's a better movie. It's called Amadeus, and it's a better version of this type of film. So there you go. Let's see if we have some comments here. Some quick comments to go through. Excuse me. There you are. JTP RX is a member. The director made it sound like a woke movie. It's woke. Yeah. Zavin says, wow, a movie about racial prejudice. How original. So stunning and brave. Yeah, it's just like, it's about racial prejudice. It's like, yes, can you say something new on this topic or add to the conversation? There are plenty of Black Americans in history that are far more interesting topics for films. And so it's just that this is the only way you can make a movie about a real substantive person in history who happens to be Black, and it's always the same story. Mm-hmm. It's mind-numbing. Say something new. Get off this narrative. It's like a broken record, not just in our media, but in our storytelling. This storytelling, there's other stories to tell that don't involve the same freaking thing.
Yeah, and it's been told better.
One Punch Man Tolkien fan says, I will give it a 2 faux Chevalier. 2 faux? I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm dumb on that. Raymond Smith, watch the movie Belle with Sarah Gadon, which is much better than Chevalier doing the same story. Interesting. I've not heard of that. Belle, is it a live action film?
Yeah. I think that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. Mike MC Wong says his composing is not bad, was more famous than Mozart back in the day in Paris. Yeah, see, I wanted to know, I felt like they focused so much on, how much he was, prejudiced. That's just like, he has to be more. Also, can I just say, I don't think the lead actor was very good. The lead actor in this movie was not very good. And it's one of those movies I almost would have rather seen the movie in French with subtitles rather than everyone doing a French accent. And the quality of the French accents varied. The woman who played the queen, why am I spacing on her name? They cut her head off.
Weaving, or is it?
No, they cut her head off. Off with their heads. What was her, let them eat cake?
Yeah. Oh, Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette is in the movie. The actress who plays her is not very good. No gravitas. No, I don't know. They make a big penis joke in the movie. There's a joke in the movie about his Chevalier's big penis. So talk about racial cliches and stereotypes. They make a big penis joke in the Chevalier movie. It's utterly stupid. I'm sure that, and what annoyed me was the filmmakers think that the movie is very profound. It is not. It is not. It is a disappointment. And there you go.
Yeah, I could do another fast review about the What's Love Got to Do with It.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to save Polite Society for next week because almost nothing opens next week.
Oh, okay.
So
that's what we're talking about.
So let's do another quick review and we'll wrap it up. So we're going to pivot.
This will be another fast one, but yeah, we'll pivot for a second.
All right, Alan, I have not seen What's Love Got to Do with It. It is currently in theaters. Can you please tell me about What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yes. Well, let's just, like I said, we'll do this fast. It's a rom-com, stars Lily James. And basically she's a woman who is a award-winning documentarian. She's also a dating app addict. She's not able to find the man of her dreams. But lo and behold, her best friend, her best childhood friend and neighbor, Kaz, he's about to get married. He's from Pakistan. He's Muslim. And he decides that he's going to go the traditional Muslim route like his parents and have them arrange his marriage. And seeing that, Zoe, who is played by Lily James, she decides, I'm going to make a documentary about this. And she's going to explore the idea of arranged marriages from the Muslim community. So as you can imagine, these two best friends, he's going to go get an arranged marriage. She's going to document it. She's going to talk to other people like via a la When Harry Met Sally, people who have been in arranged marriages, the struggles, on and on. And of course, everything you expect from a rom-com happens here. And I will say that, this is your typical Love Actually, Notting Hill. It's this British rom-com style. It's all here. The perspective though is different because it does focus on the Pakistani community. And this idea of arranged marriages. And I think that right there is the thing that is going to be the biggest disconnect for audiences, is that, as much as arranged marriages are occurring in the world today, it's not something necessarily that happens often in America enough to, I think, pique the average interest. I found it interesting because I don't know a whole lot about the Muslim community, especially the one in England, their traditions, their culture, their views on romance. That was interesting to me. And I think that's really the only thing that really drew me to this film is, okay, I'm learning something at least from it. But in terms of itself as a rom-com, it's fairly standard, it's fairly basic, and you can predict the ending from the first frame.
Well, is it one of those movies that's a romantic comedy where we don't know if they're going to get back together at the end and someone's running somewhere?
Yes. Yeah.
I knew it.
But the thing here is he's about to get married. So how can they get together if he's about to get married? And then
we're done. It's over. Cut to at the airport. I'm running to the airport.
Does she run?
Every rom-com.
Yeah, she doesn't exactly run, but it's
spoilers, Alan. Spoilers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Everyone's surprised by that.
So
would
would you recommend What's Love Got to Do with It?
It's a tough recommend. If you have to like rom-coms, period, to like this one. That has to be something you're into. I think it helps that Lily James and Emma Thompson are in it. They kind of play an anchor to a story that normally wouldn't be told. And what I find interesting about this movie also is I don't think this movie could be made in America, because it gets very frank about the idea of love and romance in a Muslim community. And I feel like in America, the wokeness will, I don't know, I think they would have a hard time criticizing Muslim culture, while at the same time would not go for arranged marriages as a concept at all. And so it's just this weird movie that kind of, I'm just surprised it exists. And I'm interested to see how the British community accepts this movie, because, like I said, I don't think this movie could ever be made in America. Not in this climate.
This seems like a movie where I could watch the movie and fold my laundry. I could fold my laundry during this movie.
Yeah, I think.
While I watch it on streaming, and by watch it meaning I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to grab a bite to eat. I'll be right back. Let me know if I miss anything. Movie.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
In fact, I should tell you that the publicist who submitted it, they gave us 10 views and a very long expiration date. So if you want to see it, you can see it.
Oh, send it to me. I have laundry. I have laundry to do this weekend. I have not done laundry since I went to Vegas. I am like, I need a clean pair of jeans, man. Although I've heard that you can clean your jeans by putting them in a freezer. Is this accurate?
I've heard that's a wives' tale from the Levi people.
Is it? It is? All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah, but this comment is not too far off.
Lily James, though. All right. Well, let's. Alan, would you recommend this movie?
I would give it like I said, if you are into rom-coms, I think you will find this interesting. You'll learn something, but I think to our general audience, probably not. So it's a very tepid recommendation.
All right. Let's go to your chat comments and questions here. Another Brit flick. I like Lily James, but I will skip it, says Alan Horkin. Tina Turner, says Solomon Thornton.
Surprisingly, the song does not appear in the movie.
Oh, no, Lubitsch Touch Me says, sounds like standard rom-com, so I am in. Hey, if you like rom-coms, this is your thing.
Yeah.
Alan Horkin, the lead actor, was in Star Trek Discovery. Make of that what you will. Shucksy says, rom-coms are my least favorite subgenre of science fiction. And Zavin says, lower rates of divorce with arranged marriages. Probably because there's a lot of pressure coming from the parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel, says, they should have picked a different name. Everyone will think it's a Tina Turner movie.
Yeah,
but that's true.
It's not.
I thought it was a Tina Turner movie. I thought it was
starring Lily James.
It's weird. So, well, there you are. Next week we'll probably go deeper into. We'll continue to talk about Guardians and we'll talk spoilers, including the very end of the movie. I have thoughts. Too early. I don't think it's fair to talk about that now. I think it's a little too early, so we're not going to do that. Also, Critics Court continues next week. I am going to do my best to answer your emails, but I have a suggestion. If you're going to email me about Critics Court, do not send me a giant block of text. Be very concise. Keep it a short communication to the point. I need to know what the action item is. I'm being inundated with emails. Alan, I'm going to need you to take a look at, I do like the restructuring of the document to look like an actual legal document. I'm going to forward you all the suggested changes. Please filter through the changes, cut and paste what makes sense.
Okay.
We will have a finished document on Monday. So just know that this document is a work in progress. I don't know who's going to be the prosecution or the defense on next Wednesday, but it's going to be a very interesting because things are kicking off. If I have time between now and then, I'm going to do a members only stream, just going through these emails and reading you a lot of the letters that people have sent me. We will have fun just hanging out. So members stream with me. Alan, you're welcome to join, but you don't have to be a part of that.
We'll see. Depends on when.
Exactly. So members only stream, and then watch Critics Court. Please spread the word. If you have a YouTube channel, the writer part of Alan is on strike. There you go. So yeah, if you have a YouTube channel, you have interest in, if you have interest in covering the trial, I'd love to see you cover the trial. Here's just a taste.
It was a quiet Wednesday, that May 25. Quiet, that is. Until Star Wars exploded onto the silver screen and changed the course of movie making forever. We all know that story. But fast forward 35 years, when a real empire consumed it, changed it, broke it, woke it. The magic is gone. The myth is gone.
911 operator, what's your emergency? Oh my god, they killed Star Wars!
The new over.
I can't show it all to you. I have so many videos to play for Critics Court. You do not want to miss Critics Court, Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. I also want to say thank you to everybody just for supporting the channel. We've grown. Now we're getting 500-600 people watching live. Thank you, Jericho Leon. Thank you to Ms. Pete Coffee and all the other mods in there, keeping things fun in the chat. We love the discourse. You know what? You can even disagree. You can even disagree with, whatever. It's a lot of fun. I also want to thank X-Ray Girl.
Hi, Dad, I miss you!
I want to thank X-Ray Girl just for, because she's entertaining. And I'm going to be on FNT later today. Maybe I'll be folding my laundry during it. Who knows? Who knows? And also go to shop.filmthreat.com. See, when I say stuff like this, Alan, you could help me by doing you could go to shop.filmthreat.com and you could support the channel. And you could get the shirt that I'm wearing right now. It says
the one I'm wearing.
What is the one that you're wearing?
It's the Dune.
Oh, the Dune inspired one. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. Somehow I got to figure out how to connect my Shopify, our Shopify shop to YouTube. So you don't even have to leave YouTube to buy our merch. I don't know how to do that. And follow us. We're Film Threat on everything. Follow the trial. Now the trial of the century. It's an amazing trial. Critics Court. Follow us at, what is it? It's hashtag Star Wars on trial, hashtag Film Threat Critics Court. I'm sure people are going to be grabbing clips. It's going to be the phenomenon and the trial of the millennium. And see, you can't even keep a straight face when we're promoting the trial, much less during the trial.
Yeah.
Don't make me bring up the gavel.
It's a trial from a long time ago. A galaxy.
Yeah, a trial a long time ago. Oh my God. The videos that we have and I've seen, we just have too many. So, hey, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you on, I'll see you on FNT and then members stream. Alan, what do you got coming up?
Oh, I may be streaming some video game this weekend. And last 2 weekends of the month, I'll be in San Diego at the National Comedy Theater.
Awesome. Alan, you need to let me know when you're streaming so we don't stream it. We don't cross the streams.
Yeah, we don't cross streams.
But you're welcome on my stream. I don't know if you want to have me on your gaming stream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could just play it on the TV here.
Yeah, why don't you could do that. You could do that. What are you going to play? Wait, can we play a game together?
Oh, possibly. Whatever, we got to figure out what that game is. And I will tell you, I will suck at that game because I don't play a whole lot. Unless you're willing to play Marvel's Avengers.
I just got Dead Island 2. Okay. And I'm loving it. It's just, I like zombie movies and
multiplayer?
zombie video games. There's a multiplayer, but I want to get through the like regular player first before I always like to play through the regular player, the story mode, the single player mode first, then because you kind of see like what weapons are the best, what techniques.
I mean, I was thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is that a multiplayer?
No, it's not single player.
Well, you should play it this weekend, Guardians. I'll watch. I'll harass you on the stream.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
cool. All right, everybody have a good weekend. Alan, and thank you to everybody. Thank you. We'll see you next week for Critics Court and also next Friday reviewing movies as we do. Alan,
let's get out of here.